There is a gentleman whose work I admire. His name is Jim Wallis, and he is the creator of a magazine, or nowadays it would be a website called Sojourners, that is based in the Christian tradition, but he's got a very unique way that he's done that, and I really love what he's doing, and he has a unique and powerful influence on this world through the things he does with his with that magazine, Sojourners. And a couple of birds fighting in my tree. Anyway, so he said something. He said, hope is believing in spite of the evidence and then watching the evidence change. In other words, for him, hope is the thing that has the power to change things. It's not a static thing, but it starts to move the earth and the universe, and it starts to move things. Now, I don't normally use the word hope, but I always want to get the message out to people that the things that you think are the truth, or the things that you think are the word, we think that the truth or the word comes after. Like we see something like this tree, or we see a condition in the world, or we see a person, or anything that we see, we think it exists. Okay, so that's the evidence, or we think it's the evidence. And then we talk about it after it exists. There's a tree, there's a war, there's a table, there's this person who is a dishonest person, or there's a person who's a famous person, or we think we're talking about the truth of things that already came into being. We put the word after. But this is actually a misplacement of the word, okay? And that is not how you tell the truth. The truth and the word come before, not after. It comes before something is created. And that's 100% of the time. So, everything that is already existing is already moving into the past. And the concern that we can have is what is going to happen in the future. So the truth is when you plant a seed and talk about the tree that's coming. If you keep saying that there's war this, war that, you're planting the seeds for the future. You're not talking about the past war, because you can change. The past war can start to leave the system immediately, and it won't take as long as you think it would. If we all told the truth about peace, the trouble is, of course, is we're all telling different stories, and it's hard for us to all get in the same story of peace. But if we all did it all at once, all put our hope on peace, and all put our words on peace, and all put the truth that we're telling on peace, it would take about 5 minutes or less for the war to leave the system of our world and pass into the past, because we could tell the truth for whatever future we want. The truth and the word and the hope come ahead of time, and then what we speak comes into existence. And the Old Testament actually shows this pattern, Genesis, because God said, "Let there be light." And that came before. He told the truth, and the world and the universe had to create according to the truth that he told. Okay? But it works the same way for all of us. It comes first, the truth and the word. So think about how you're oriented with what you think is the truth, and you think you're oriented toward what already is and what the past is. And this will work best with your own life. You may not be able to change the whole world, because that's not your job necessarily, but your job is to do you. But you can start telling a different truth for your life, a different word, a different hope, and the evidence is going to change. The reality is going to change, because that's the way that words work. Because you think you're just saying the truth about what's already happening, but what you're is you keep planting the same seed. So plant a different seed. And when I say word, I mean word of the mouth, but I also mean the whole way that your body is, the whole way that your mind is, the whole way that your emotion is. All of that is word, okay? Because it's a signal, it's a significance, it carries meaning that leads us to the next place that we're going. And I'm thinking about words that changed the whole world, and the first person that came to mind was Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. Most of us may not have that much power to change the whole world, but there are words that can change the whole world, and his were some of them. So it's not impossible either. And when I'm doing this YouTube channel, it's because I am telling the truth ahead of time. All the things that I'm saying about peace, I'm telling the truth ahead of time. And I have no doubt that where my words fall will have an influence and change something, okay? It'll change me and it'll change you. And that's why I'm doing it, because I believe in the power of the word. And to me, this is not a religious idea. This is an idea about how energy actually works in this universe. And so hope, tell the truth ahead of time, plant the word as a seed ahead of time, and see what changes, what new evidence you get that proves the hope and the word that you gave. And for me, I say let's do words and hope of peace for ourselves and for our families, our communities, and for our world.